Yo, yo, yo. We're waiting for one more and we'll start.
Yo.
Yo, we have to wait for one more. One second. We have to wait for Ant.
Where is he?
I don't know. We'll wait. We'll wait another minute or so. And then if not, guess we'll start without him.
Well, but what about Calcio?
What?
Is Calcio joining or no?
No. Next time.
It's just us?
Yep.
Amazing.
We're waiting for Ant to join. Hopefully, if he joins.
He joined.
All right.
Says he joined at the bottom.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why it's not going through.
Amazing.
I may have to redo it again. I don't know why it's not going through. Oh, there you are. What's up, bro?
How are you?
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Yo, Michelangelo.
All right. What's up, guys? We are the 90-minute club at the 90-minute club. Use the hashtag 90-minute club and please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and also YouTube channel as well. For all our videos, please like and subscribe. Where the beautiful game is always 90 minutes or more. Also, don't forget to sign up for Paramount Plus. I don't know if you knew this, but Paramount Plus has things just like Serie A, Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, CONCACAF matches, and more, including TV shows and movies from CBS, BET, MTV, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon. If you sign up, I believe this week they have 25% off for students only. It's going to be $4.99 a month with ads. $9.99 a month for ads free. If you do it yearly, it's $50 to $100, and you save about 16%. It's about 16%. You save about 16%. So we're going to start. Obviously, the Scudetto race right now is very tight. The standings right now is Milan with 71, Inter with 69, Napoli with 67, Juventus with 63, Roma with 58, and Lazio with 56. If you look at from last week, the positions, the only things that changed was the numbers. We're going to start with you, and we're going to start with the Milan-Genoa game. Milan won 2-0 against Genoa. Rafael Leao scored. He's a Portuguese midfielder. He has, I believe, 9 goals this season. And then you have Junior Messias. He has his 5th goal this season for Milan. And there's one player I want to mention. His name is Kalulu. He's a fantastic defender for Milan. And he's basically the reason why they secured the 3 points. And including Magnan, which is the goalkeeper for Milan. Fantastic saves he had to keep them in the title race. Anything you guys want to add on this? Milan winning 2-0 against Genoa. We're going to start with you, Ant.
Yeah, just a pretty standard win. I figured AC Milan was going to get back on track. They've been drawing games left and right. They allowed Inter to kind of keep up with them while they still have the game in hand. So I was expecting Milan to start picking it up again, and it was a pretty comfortable win for them. Nothing that pressured them, threatened them. Pretty easy win.
Anything you want to add to that, Dylan?
No, they took care of business. I expected them to. Genoa was bottom of the table team.
So, as of now, I believe I think we're the Serie B, right?
They're probably going to be relegated.
They're probably going to be relegated, yeah, because Shevchenko is also sacked as well. Interesting fact: Shevchenko back in the day did play with Milan, so yeah, it's funny how he got sacked. I believe that match too. So.
Yeah, they've been a mess. I think I saw that besides, who do they have? Who's their striker, Mick? Can't think of his name now. Oh, my God.
Giroud.
No,
Giroud,
no, no,
Ibra.
no. Genoa.
Genoa. Destro.
Yeah, that
Mattia Destro.
besides Destro and Criscito, no one else on the team has more than one goal. So, yeah, they're a mess.
2 wins, 16 ties, and 15 losses on the season. That's just horrible.
That's really bad. I mean, we know they're gonna go to Serie B. It's a shame because Genoa, the last time they were in Serie B was the year that Napoli went to Serie A with them back in 2005, 2006. That was the same year they both went to Serie A together. So Genoa with Naples, it's like I fratelli. They're like brothers in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But
that's what we expected. So you can probably go to the next match.
next match is Cagliari Sassuolo. Cagliari won the match 1-0. De Loa scored the goal. But the big question is, what's happening to Sassuolo? Is it too much pressure with Berardi, Scamacca, and Raspadori? Maybe Raspadori is thinking about Juventus already. Scamacca potentially maybe going to Milan, and Berardi maybe Inter. So what's your play on that? We're going to start with you, Ant.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's expected with the young players they have starting so many games. Like, there's a lot of pressure on them, and young players are inconsistent. You can't expect them to show out every single game and play fantastic. They have been very well, those two, but bottom line is Sassuolo is not a title contender. They're not a big club, so these results can be expected, especially with all the transfer rumors, with their whole front three, all of them rumored to go somewhere else, and yeah, it just sucks for Sassuolo, but that's the end of the day.
Anything you want to add to that, Dylan? Sassuolo, I don't know if you noticed, in the last 5 matches, they won 3 and tied 2. I mean, they're a team, you know, they did lose a couple of games here and there, but it's also the fact that with Sassuolo this year, if you realize, like, those 3 have so much pressure, but, you know, they did manage to get a big win against Inter a couple months ago, you know, played pretty well against Milan, phenomenal against Napoli away. You know, they were down 2-0. Could have won the match 3-2. Goal disallowed by VAR. So it's interesting what's going to happen to those 3. However, like if you look at Sassuolo last year, they were a mid-table team, almost Europa League team. So it's crazy what's going to happen. But Sassuolo, in my opinion, it's like a Palermo back in the day. I don't know if you remember Palermo back in the day. Back in the day, you had Dybala, you had Cavani, Pastore,
What about Fabrizio Piccoli?
Miccoli, you had Bazzaretti. Back in the day, that was a team. You said to yourself, they brought like 5-6 people. They all went their different ways, but they became superstar players. And I feel like that's what Sassuolo is doing, and they're doing a fantastic job. They're not dumb. They're gonna get good value and pay. So, anything you want to add to that, Dylan, on those 3 guys, and also Sassuolo in their form?
No, I think, as you said, they've been playing good as of late. I mean, every time you got young guys leading the charge, especially up front, you're going to have an off game. It happens. I think this was definitely a shock. I think Cagliari needed this win to get out of the relegation zone, though. I know they're towards the bottom of the table. So I don't know if they're in, like, what is the bottom? 18, 19, and 20 don't make it, right?
Yeah, they go to Serie B, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that Cagliari is, like, pretty close to that drop range. I think they're, like, 16 or 17 right now when I looked before. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely a big win for them. I think they only have a few wins all season, so that's a big one, especially when, you know, the season gets tighter and there's only a few games left. So I think for them, they're probably just playing for, you know, to not get relegated. And sometimes when you have that little passion to play for, it could give you a win or two that you need towards the end of the season. But I think, like you said, some of those Sassuolo young strikers might end up leaving. That's normally what happens. They start in a smaller club and bigger club buy them. That's kind of how it works. But I'm surprised that it was 1-0, right?
Yeah, they won 1-0, yes, against Sassuolo.
I'm surprised with those high-powered youngsters and the speed they got that they couldn't put in any goals. But it's happened for years that I've been watching the sport for a lot of top-tier players. So I think this might be a one-off for them. They'll still probably finish middle of the table, and I think we'll probably see the team look a bit different next year with some potential buys when players are leaving.
Absolutely. Anything you want to added Anthony on the Cagliari Sassuolo, on the three guys mentioned?
No, I think we covered it all for them.
Another thing I want to add is also with Cagliari, the big question for me is what's going to happen to Joe Pedro next season. Played phenomenal in Serie A this year. And also another player I want to mention is Keita Balde. Former Lazio player, can play very well, and maybe he could make a switch. Maybe to Sassuolo next year if he gets a spot. But we're gonna move on to the next match, and the match that I feel like I'm very disappointed about, and when I heard the result, I was devastated. Napoli-Roma tied 1-1. Napoli drew the crucial match to keep their Scudetto hopes alive. Insigne scored a penalty in the 10th minute. It was a foul on Lozano. VAR checked it. They said it was a penalty. Interesting fact. I believe the same thing happened. It was against Torino. It was a Torino-Inter. The same thing when it happened against Bellotti, but they didn't call that foul, but they called this one. So it's kind of the same thing over there. But I believe Insigne, I think he has like double digits in 5 seasons consecutively as well. Eshrawi ties the game in the 93rd minute. Another defensive error from Zaniolo. He's very, very young. He needs to get some time to play. And this is something that De Laurentiis needs to buy. He needs to buy a defender on the left side or the right side. It's been an ongoing factor with De Laurentiis since 2007, 2008. Their defense is getting better, but they need somebody on that left flank. And Napoli hasn't won a match at home in 8 games. They tied 1-1 against Verona. Lost 3-2 against Atalanta. Against Empoli, they lost 1-0. Against Spezia, lost 1-0. Against Inter, tied 1-1. Against Milan, lost 1-0. Against Fiorentina, lost 2-3, and Roma, now they tied 1-1. What's your prediction on the Scudetto race now, with Napoli tying 1-1, and what do you think is going to happen in the future for Napoli and Roma as well? We're going to start with you, Dylan.
So I mean, I was thinking of you a lot this game. Me and Ant both were when we saw the result at the end. I think we wrote in the group chat like, "Sorry, bro, almost had it." I think that even though this was a draw, definitely for Napoli fans and for your buddy that we had on last week, I'm sure he was feeling it too. Definitely.
So, shout out to Carmine from Napoli fans Toronto, by the way.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, a good guy. He was definitely feeling it too. I think he actually predicted the draw when he was on the podcast last. And like you said, just the way they've been performing at home recently, if they could have squeaked out a win, that could have been a huge momentum change just for, to winning the league. I think they were the Roma was a man down for the last goal as well, right? It was a red card.
I believe it was. Yes, I believe it was. I'm not 100% sure.
So
I got to check that.
With 10 men and a goal in the 92nd minute is just an absolute killer. I think that might have. I think Roma still got something to play for too. That might have saved them a spot for. I think they're competing for top 4, top 5.
They're competing for.
Champions League, Europa League.
Yeah, well, technically for me, more Europa League than anything else, but yeah.
Yeah, so I guess they still got something to play for, and Roma's one of those teams that's always tough to play against. So yeah, and El Shaarawy, I've been a fan of him for a little while. Obviously, defensive error that led to the goal, but that's what good players do. And then in terms, you asked my prediction for the rest of the league. I think the 3 points and the 1 point is a huge difference for Napoli. So I think that they're definitely they need some very fortunate things to happen moving forward. So I think Inter is probably the front runner. I know Milan's up, but I think they have a game ahead. So if Inter covers that game, they could probably take the lead on them. Although you pointed out Magnan, the goalie for Milan, is playing really, really well. And we've seen it in the Champions League and international play as well. Goalkeepers can keep teams in games sometimes, especially when they're in form. And they can also lose teams games sometimes. Like with Donnarumma at PSG, he let in that one bad goal and kind of the floodgates open. So obviously the easy thing to say is it's between those 2 teams, but I think I'm going to go with Inter for this year. I think that this is their year, and I think their attack can get it done for them.
Anthony, do you want to add anything on the Napoli Roma game and just in general of Napoli's hopes and possibly Scudetto or just Champions League spot? What do you think is going to happen with them and also Roma?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a devastating late goal. That would have been a very big win for Napoli and would have kept them right into the Scudetto race. Roma's on fire right now. They, if I'm not mistaken, they have the most points in Serie A in 2022. So they've been just absolutely on fire, and they're also the last Italian team in Europe. So they're no slouch. I think they have a lot to play for still. They still have to play Inter, so again, another big game coming up inside the race. Yeah, I think the bottom line is those home games, Napoli have just not got it done, and that's going to cost them. You can't, if you want to be a title challenger, you can't lose all those games or tie at home. It just can't happen, and I think that's going to be the death wish for them.
You couldn't have said it better. You couldn't have said it better. It's just like feeling, I guess, like seeing the perspective of Napoli. They've been having their 12th man, especially in Champions League. You know, getting big wins back in the day against Manchester City. You know, Liverpool, and you know, easy wins against Juventus, Inter. You know, against the big clubs, they can get the wins, no problem. But I feel like, and you know, I'm not saying Roma is a small club at all. Roma's a big club, but this year alone, they've been struggling. And a big focus is you know, Zanioli. I'm gonna be honest, like he's too young. He needs more time, but he's getting better. It's gonna take some time for him to get his struggle. But I don't know if you guys saw on the goal, the entire defense shift from one side to the next, and the whole defense pushed. And the man was was wide open. He was gonna score no matter what. But great goal for him. You know, it's good. It's glad to see him score, but it's a shame. But the Scudetto's not over yet, if you really think about it, because if you see in the perspective, you know, Milan has to play Fiorentina, which is a tough game, and they have to play Lazio. Lazio right now with Ciro Immobile is playing phenomenal. Great player right now, and then Fiorentina right now has a fantastic team. They beat Napoli. You know, against Juventus in Coppa Italia. You know. We'll talk about that later, but you know, Inter also has a tough match too. They have to play Roma, so there's potential that both clubs can drop points, Inter and Milan. Even if they drop maybe one point here and there, the Scudetto's not over yet. I feel like any of the three could win right now. But if you have to put in perspective right now, out of the three clubs, I think in perspective, I think Inter is going to win. They're phenomenal in form. Yeah, Perisic is phenomenal in form. Fantastic player. Lautaro Martinez can score goals. He can get assists. And I'm going to mention another player, Correa. That assist he delivered in Coppa Italia was fantastic. It was delicious. It was like a Nutella sandwich. You can't get enough. It was beautiful. Absolutely amazing. Another player I'm going to say is Brozovic. He's been phenomenal in form. And Inter, they had the best back line with Bastoni and Skriniar. I mentioned this in the last podcast. I'm going to say it again. Phenomenal back form. Anything you guys want to add of the Napoli-Roma game, the Scudetto hopes or anything like that? Or we can move on to the next...
We can move on.
Okay. Another thing I want to mention is, I don't know if you guys know about Ciro Immobile, but he has 25 goals this season. Absolutely incredible. And another thing is, he scored in his last match against Torino. He scored against his former club to tie the game in the 92nd minute. Anything you guys want to achieve Ciro Immobile in the Capocapolino race?
Yeah,
it's just a shame he can't do it for international play.
That's been always the problem for international play. You can't score.
Every week that goes by, we see him score. Every year he's leading Serie A on goals, and it's so frustrating because two World Cup qualifying in a row, he just couldn't get it done. And like I said, it's not on him, but he is the striker at the end of the day, and he didn't get the job done. And
no, I agree.
There's not much else you could say about it. He's just one of those players that is not good with the national team, and it's super frustrating. It's one of the worst worst thing that could have happened, and not much else to say. Just absolutely.
For the Cabo Carbonero, you guys think Immobile is going to win? He's got 25 goals this season. I believe second place is Blazovic. I think he's got 17 or 18. You think Blazovic could step up, or Immobile has it locked?
Nah,
That's
I
a
think
lot of
Immobile
goals.
will win it again. Like, especially the way Juventus plays, they're not this like free flowing attacking team. So I don't think he can catch up now.
One thing I'm going to mention is for Lazio, somebody who's playing phenomenal football. It's going to be Mikovic Savic, a phenomenal player,
He's awesome.
man from Serbia. He's got to play his first World Cup game against Brazil. Him and Vlahovic are together. They're both Serbian, but he's had a phenomenal season for Lazio. He's been stepping up to the plate, not only an assist, could defend a little bit, could hold the midfield. And another player he started off so well was Pedro. What a phenomenal player Pedro was. And also Luis Felipe, what he's doing with the squad as well in defense. He's really locking them up as well. But Lazio is a team that they could reach Europa League this year. Maybe even Champions League would be tough, but Europa League is almost there. Right now, Fiorentina's a sixth spot. They would be the playoff game for the Europa League. So Lazio still has a chance. They're both tied at 56 points. So anything could happen right there.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to add in the Carbonero race, or Ichiro Immobile, or Lazio in general?
No, Savage is awesome though. He's going to get bought by a bigger club soon. I know Ant wanted him to go to Manchester United at one point. I don't know if that's still on the table, but that would be awesome. He's so good.
Yeah. I think he will leave finally. It's been talked about for a couple of years, and I think this year will be the time it finally happens. Don't know who, because it seems like everyone is chasing him because he's, like I said, he's one of the most underrated midfielders. I think he'll be gone.
Where do you think he's going to go to? And you said Mikovic Savic. Where do you think he's going to go to? Any club you think he would sign for?
I know Juventus is looking at him heavy. I think if I had to make a prediction, I'd probably say Juventus signs him, unfortunately, just because they somehow seem like the only team in Italy with money to buy anyone. So, as much as I don't want that to happen, that would be my prediction.
We're going to move on. There's something I really want to mention is the match last week. It was Roma against Bodo Glimt. Roma won 4-0 on aggregate. It was a total of 5-2. And one player I'm going to mention is Nicolo Zaniolo. What a player.
Yeah.
And one question I say to myself is, why Mancini didn't select this guy and didn't put him in? Because I think if you put Zaniolo, Chiesa together, those two, oh my, what the Azzurri can do with those two. Zaniolo had a hat trick that game. What a phenomenal player. And one player that stands out for me is Tammy Abraham. Phenomenal player. He can score goals, does that. He did in the Premier League, and he just keeps on doing it. And you just can't stop the guy. Scores the big goals in big matches. Anything you guys want to add on Roma against Bodo, or just in general with Zaniolo and Tammy Abraham with the two goal scorers in the match? We're going to start with you, man. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm not going to, because, like I said in the previous podcast, he started the lineup that I predicted, and I would have started as well. So what happened. Can't keep going back on it, but it's a good sign that Zaniolo's finally healthy, finally performing again, because he's been one of the brightest stars that Italy's had for a while. He just has so unfortunate with injuries, torn his ACL twice. It just what could have been, and hopefully it's not too late. He could stay healthy for the rest of his career now and finally show what he's meant to be, and that could be, like I said, the future of Italy. Him and Chiesa, he can lead us back where Italy is supposed to be. Can't wait.
Anything you want to add to that, Dylan, on Zaniolo or Tammy Abraham or just Roma in general?
No, I would talk about Roma. Always a tough team. I mean, Abraham, I've always been a fan of him, even in England. So it's nice to see his play transition over. And then Zaniolo, obviously young, has been injury ridden, but he's a beast. I would have liked to see him in the team as well, but I think Mancini was in a tough spot where do you want to bring young guys that don't have experience? You want to bring the older guys that have experience, maybe not as fast anymore. You have to have that balance, and obviously it didn't work out, so it's easy to say now. But I think we'll probably see him in the team for the next international tournament, I hope. Along with Skamaka, Berardi, I want to see all those guys getting a lot more playing time as well.
With El Shaarawy scoring against Napoli, would you bring him back to the national team? Maybe.
No.
It's too late.
Yeah, he hasn't really. He kind of had like a lot of hype around him and didn't really deliver to what is expected to be. He had like a little hot run, but it was nice to see him score that goal. But I know a lot of strikers that would have also scored that goal. Not to take anything away from him, but I don't know if that's like a make or break for the national team. I think there's some better guys they could take. But I think it's good that he's still playing at a pretty high level in Roma. Still a good club. I know he was in Milan back in the day, and then he kind of fell off a little bit. I forget where he went after that, but it's good to see him back playing in Italy.
Okay. Next thing we're to talk about is the Coppa Italia match, and I know, Anthony, we're jumping in the air with this result. Inter against Milan, the derby della Madonnina again. We've seen this, I believe, I think this is our third or fourth time seeing this match this year alone, right? I believe, right, Anthony? This was our third or fourth time watching this match, I think.
It is going to be the fourth time.
Anthony, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. I think this is our fourth time playing each other now this year.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Obviously, we know that Lautaro Martinez scored 2 goals. Absolutely phenomenal player. After the first, I'm going to explain that later, but Lautaro Martinez scored 2 goals, and then also Gosen scored the third goal to basically seal the deal. The assist of the match were by Darmian, Correa, and Brozovic. And Inter will face Juventus in the Coppa Italia final. Anthony, you as an Inter fan, how do you feel about the result and about the goals being happened and about the players in the matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ecstatic, obviously. The semifinal against our bitter rivals and to just absolutely dominate them after the first leg, which was just when Inter was kind of in their rough patch, not scoring goals, struggling to win games. But now, like I said, after that Juventus game, it's given them new life. And they're back to the Inter we saw last year and early this year. And it's amazing to see Lautaro back scoring goals. I can't wait. We've beaten Juventus twice already this season. They have not yet beat us in 3 games, so I can't wait for the final and to raise another trophy against them.
Dylan, anything you want to add on that match?
I think he covered the match pretty good, but I just want to say that in terms of just momentum and getting on track, I know Inter and Milan are competing for the Serie A race as well. I think this kind of gives Inter like a chip on their shoulder a little bit. Like, it definitely gives them momentum going into that. I know they're not necessarily playing each other again, but soccer is like a big momentum thing. As in most sports, you see teams go on like a run where they win, 5-10 games in a row, and you also see the flip side where teams lose a bunch of games in a row. So when you win like a rivalry game like that, I think that kind of boosts you, especially this late in the season. They're getting their mojo back. So I think that just overall this could help them in the league as well. Just kind of riding with the hot. They say in other sports ride the hot hand, but I think that's the case with this team as well right now.
For me, something that I guess like for Inter has changed is just the the chemistry, and I feel like it's more like a family than anything else with Inter, and I love that about them. And I thought Milan was a complete unit, but this game they absolutely got destroyed in every single part. We mentioned not even 5-10 minutes ago how Magnan was fantastic. He looked absolutely horrible. Magnan looked terrible, absolutely terrible. Um, for me, Milan couldn't get anything going, and once Martinez scored that first goal, gorgeous goal on the volley, by the way. Once he got that first goal, it sucked the living life out of Milan, and they couldn't do anything. But Correa, the assist he gave to Martinez was absolutely beautiful in every single way.
He's the future of Argentina. I want to see him playing a lot more internationally.
Absolutely,
I saw.
absolutely.
I remember I was like watching actually like Messi assisted him a couple times. They were linking up when they were competing for a spot in the World Cup, and they started giving him more and more time. I don't know why that he wasn't in the team to begin with, but I think that he's probably going to make an impact in the World Cup too.
It's crazy. Like the two Argentine players, they linked up each other and got a goal and assist. What a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, Correa too. So I think that's.
We're going to move on to the next match. It was Juventus against Fiorentina. Juventus won the match 2-0 against Fiorentina. At aggregate, it's 3-0. Bernardeschi scored a gorgeous goal. However, there was something controversial. We'll talk about that in a minute. And the second goal was scored by Danilo with an assist by Quadrado. And Bernardeschi scored il gol dell'ex. If you translate il gol dell'ex from Italian to English, it translates to scoring against your former club. And Bernardeschi celebrated, did his thing. Usually, when you score your gol dell'ex, you don't celebrate as much. But we're going to talk about the goal. Gorgeous goal by Bernardeschi, by the way. Hits it off his chest. One-time volley, puts the top right corner. Gorgeous goal. But one thing I want to talk about is what was the goalkeeper Dragowski doing? He came off his line too much came off his line. He should have stayed in net instead of punching that ball away. And the defense for Fiorentina didn't know what to do. They should have stayed more back instead of pushing forward. When you saw the error from Dragowski, what's your opinion on that and the goal by Bernardeschi? Let's just talk about that first.
Nothing to take away from Juventus.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
They were the better team between the two legs. But their first two goals, first leg and then the first goal of the second leg, were both from Fiorentina errors. And that's going to lose you the game in the semifinals. You can't be making errors, especially against a superior team. Fiorentina, they had Vlahovic for most of the season. He got him kind of to the quarterfinals, I think, before he left. And when you lose your best player, when you're going against a superior team that you're the underdog against, you can't make errors. And they did it in both games. So they can't have any complaints. They lost the game on their own. And it sucks because I would have loved to see Fiorentina. Like we talked about last podcast, their coach is amazing. He's had a season, up-and-coming young guy. But got out-coached. He's not going to say he got absolutely outperformed. He's just not ready. He doesn't have the resources yet. And this defensive fun, which I was expecting.
Anything you want to add to that, Dylan, on Juventus Fiorentina match, the Bernardeschi goal, Danilo scoring? Do you want to add anything on the match in general, on the goalkeeper error, just anything in general?
Yeah, I didn't get to see the match. I did see the highlights though, and then I was just looking at some of the stats. So I just wanted to point out, Fiorentina had 17 shots and almost 70% possession. Juventus only had 8 shots and 31% possession, but they had 3 shots on target, and they ended up winning 2-0. So their conversion rate was just a lot better. That's where good teams capitalize on mistakes like that. So it's not like Fiorentina played a bad game overall. It's just a few errors that Juventus capitalized on. But like Ann said, I don't think they played a bad game. Obviously, they don't have their best striker that they had to start the season. But they were putting the pressure. They didn't quit. And it would have been nice to see a team like that make it to the final. But at the end of the day, Juventus just got a little bit more firepower, and they they buried their chances. But I don't think they look great. I don't think their goals were like amazing, which I think is why what are they, fourth or fifth in the league right now? They're not as clinical as they once were.
Right now they're a six. If the league ends right now, they would get the European Conference, the qualification. They would have a playoff match.
Yeah, I don't think they're as the well-oiled machine that they once were, but I still think they had just enough firepower to capitalize on the Fiorentina mistakes. But Bernardeschi, great goal. And then in terms of the celebrating versus your old club, I think that's kind of outplayed a little bit. I mean, these guys are the best in the world. They're playing for millions of dollars. I think that you're entitled to celebrate it. I don't know the details about how he left, except especially when teams like let guys go on bad terms, they're going to celebrate more than if they left on their own power. I don't know if there's any beef with the team or the coach and the fans and that kind of stuff, but I don't think that's as big of a deal as people are making it seem. I don't think we should look into that too much.
One comment I want to mention is we just got a comment from Sherman_Jenkins. I'm going to read it in Italian and then translate it in English. He says, Campionato finisce Inter primo, Napoli secondo, Milan terzo, e Juve quarto. Which translates, basically says,
Yeah, I got it.
the league will finish Inter first, Napoli second, Milan third, and Juventus fourth. What do you think of this prediction that he states?
I like it. I mean, obviously he said Inter is going to win, so I automatically like it. But interesting that he has Napoli over Milan. I'm not sure what fan he is, but still, it's
He's a Napoli fan.
okay. Well, anyways, I like I said, I would love to see that. I do think, the biases aside, that Inter has the best chance right now with the game in hand still. And kind of the schedule, if you look at it, they really only have Roma. Milan has a pretty hard schedule, I saw, and I'm not too certain about Napoli's, but I know
Napoli, their next game will be against Empoli away. So Empoli away they're pretty tough. Vincenzo Caputo this year for Empoli's playing very, very good football.
Yeah. I just think Napoli they're a few points behind now of both Inter and AC Milan, and they are known to choke. So, if I had to predict, I'd say Inter wins and then AC Milan comes second. But I wouldn't count Napoli out yet. I think there's a lot of games left, and like I said, Milan has a hard schedule, so anything could happen.
Another thing I want to mention is obviously the news has been going on, and I don't know if you guys know about Cristiano Ronaldo. He lost one of his two twins. It was supposed to be a boy and a girl. The girl, I believe the girl survived, the boy did not, or vice versa.
Terrible.
It was announced on Twitter on April 18th. We're all saddened to hear this news, and also another thing we could see is during the Liverpool-Manchester United Liverpool-Man U match, in the 7th minute, the entire stadium saying, "We will walk alone." What a beautiful thing to see in a stadium, and just in general, in football in general, to see two clubs come together just for that, for any significant reason in general, when we're going through anything on a world dilemma. Any of you guys, what's your saying on that about the Ronaldo situation?
I saw that, actually. I thought that was really cool that they did that. I know Liverpool is kind of known to have like a more aggressive, not always the classiest fan base. So I think that was really cool. Obviously, Manchester United as a club was hurting. Obviously, Cristiano was hurting, and then obviously it affected their play. Without him, it seems like they weren't going to find goals. But just about the incident itself is obviously horrible, and prayers go out to him. As much as people like or dislike him, I mean, that's his family and his children. That's just obviously horrible. But I think that was nice that they did that, and it kind of shows, as you always say, it's more than just a game. And I know we talked about the 90-minute club, but there's things that happen outside the 90th minute, or in this case, at the 7th minute, that shows that it's more than just a game. So I think that was really nice, and Ronaldo's obviously like a staple of the soccer community. I know that it wasn't something that happened to him directly, but it kind of reminds me of like the Kobe Bryant thing, how, players kind of took timeouts when it was the number 24 and it was the number 8. I know it's not to that extreme, and I don't like talking about this kind of stuff, but I just think overall it was a good gesture by the Liverpool nation, I guess you would say. It goes to the players and the fans. So I just want to say that.
Anthony, I want to get your prediction because you're a Manchester United fan as well. So, what's going through your thoughts on that?
Yeah, of course. Ronaldo's my favorite player of all time, so it was heartbreaking to see. And yeah, I think it was awesome that Liverpool did that, especially because them and Man U are bitter rivals. They didn't have to do it, but they did, and that was a really nice gesture. And I think Man U is just a disgrace right now. They not like that game meant anything technically, but it would have been nice to see some heart or fight for Ronaldo. Obviously, they lost 4-0. They're just in a horrible place right now, off the field and on the field. But it kind of shows. I know some people said that Ronaldo's the problem at Man U or this and that, but that is just not true at all. If you look at the stats with and without Ronaldo this season, without him, Man U would be in like 12th place or something. So what he's doing at age 37, carrying this team that is just there's no words for them right now. It's just another testament of how great he is.
One thing I want to mention is I sent you the video of this, and there's this kid. He's really, really good. His name's Hannibal Mejbri. Very, very good. He was so aggressive on that pitch, and I love that. And I feel like this is what Man U needs. They need somebody that's aggressive. It's gonna make the tackle, get the play going. And I feel like Man U without Ronaldo has just been very, especially right now during the time. They've been lacking something. Just that character, just that motivation. And I feel like this kid, he's only 19 years old. He's from Tunisia. He has French descent as well. I really think in a couple of years he could be the next big thing. This kid, he's really, really good. What do you think of him?
Yeah, I mean, I love to see that. It was nice to see someone show a little bit of heart and fight. Like it. We all obviously know Liverpool is a better team right now, but that doesn't mean you can't like show some heart or desire. Like they literally got ran over the field, and it was embarrassing. I literally had to turn the game off. They're horrible to watch right now. I'm a diehard Man U fan, but they need serious changing. And if everyone showed heart like that young kid did, then I'm sure they wouldn't have lost 4-0. So
No, I agree.
They definitely need more of that, and I'm excited. Hopefully, at this point, I would like to see all the youngsters play. I'm sick of seeing the same team right now that's just getting embarrassed on the field week in and week out. And they, like I've been talking about, they just announced their new manager today, Ten Hag from Ajax. So hopefully he could bring something new that's been lacking for the past couple of years, bring in some new players that actually.
He was the same coach that brought him to the semifinals, right? When they lost against Tottenham, right? I believe so.
Yeah, he had De Jong, De Ligt. He had an amazing run with them. So I'm hoping he could bring some of that, get rid of get rid of all these players. There needs to be a big makeover, big overhaul. So I'm excited for the season to just end and hopefully see a better team next year.
Now, talking about the Premier League, I know either Man City or Liverpool is going to win the league right now. We have Man City with 77, Liverpool with 76. We have Chelsea with 62, Tottenham with 57, Arsenal with 57,
yes, sir.
Man U with 54, and then West Ham with 52. Imagine Man U loses their next match, and West Ham wins. They would go to 7.
Man U plays Arsenal this Saturday.
What's your prediction on that, Anthony? Dylan. You're a big Arsenal fan, and obviously Anthony and Dylan, you guys are both Man U fans and Arsenal fans, respectively. And what's your opinion on that match?
Well, Arsenal just beat Chelsea 4-2, if you just saw. That was a huge win. I don't think a lot of people thought they were going to win. Arsenal's a scrappy team this year. They're kind of unpredictable because like they'll win crazy games like that, and then they'll lose like 1-0 to like Leeds or some shit like that. Which Arsenal, being an Arsenal fan, is like really tough. But I think Man U's on the decline. I don't know if Ronaldo's playing. If he's not playing, I think that Arsenal should win that game. If he is playing, maybe I'll say a 2-2 tie. I think maybe he scores on his return after the adversity he's going through. But, you know, they got a new coach. Sometimes that could cause the team to play really well, or sometimes they could not respond right away. So I'm hoping it's the first one and we can ride our momentum and win. So let's say no Ronaldo, 2-0 Arsenal win.
2-0 Arsenal win. What about you, Anthony? What's your prediction since you're a Man U fan?
I could see something stupid like a 0-0. That wouldn't help either team out. Like, this is very important for both teams. But like I said, I'm kind of just done with this season. I've had enough. I'm more focused on Inter and they're fighting for titles. This is a kind of a must-win game for both teams. So I hope, especially after that embarrassment of last game, that I could see something from this team and at least try to get into the Champions League spot somehow. If not, like they're not even in the Europa League spot, so it's just unfathomable for Man U not to be in any European spots. It just goes against their whole history. So I'll say 0-0 just because I've seen it so many times.
If the league ended right now, Man U would get a qualification spot for the Conference League.
Yep.
That's just not. That's not Man U.
Hypothetically, let's say if Arsenal wins, right, and Tottenham loses, Arsenal moves to 4th and Tottenham goes to 5th.
That'd be nice.
And that means Arsenal would get a Champions League spot because the top 4 would go through.
That's how I want it to end. I mean, not that I think Arsenal could win the Champions League.
Your audio's cutting out, Dylan. Dill, your audio's cutting out. Dill.
Uè, dottor,
Wait.
come stai?
Hey, guys. Dylan, I can't hear you.
We play that, man.
All right.
Come down to it.
Wait, say that again? I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
May 12th. That's huge. We play Tottenham May 12th.
So you guys would be 4th, right? You guys would be 4th or 3rd?
No, we would be 4th, but we play Tottenham May 12th, so like I feel like that could definitely come down to it. Like whoever wins that game.
Oh, speak English.
All right. On the bottom right is my cousin Vincenzo. He's a Napoli fan. So we're gonna start with you, Vincenzo. Prima faccio italiano, poi traduzione in inglese. La partita di...
Guys,
Okay.
sorry, I'm in Italy eating pale with rice.
Nice.
Wine.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Everything homemade over here, my friend.
Bellissima.
All right, Vincenzo,
Buon appetito.
I'm gonna start with you. Napoli this year, they're pretty much of a struggle. They tied 1-1 against Roma. Defensively, Zaniolo actually is horrible defensive error on that left flank. And also Insigne scoring this year. He has 5 consecutive seasons with scoring 10 or more goals. Do you think?
Insigne not good. Insigne not good no more.
So you're saying the reason why is because he's going to Toronto, right? That's the reason why. Okay. You as a Napoli fan, do you believe Napoli has a chance at Scudetto, or you think it's done?
I'd say no Scudetto. If we don't change president, we're never gonna win Scudetto.
Okay. If there's a signing you would sign, who's your signing for a player? Who's your major signing you would sign right now?
No, I don't understand. Che significa?
Quale giocatore preferisci a scegliere nella squadra? C'è qualcuno che devi comprare? Is there somebody you
Ah,
want to buy in your club?
you know who I really like? The Sinanu Milan.
Uh, my cousin said the winger of Milan. I believe
Leao.
he,
Yeah.
Rafael, right? Okay. I think it would fit very well
No,
because I feel
Leao,
like
o biondo, come si chiama o biondo?
he said the blonde guy.
Salamakers.
No. Come si chiama?
Theo Hernandez.
No. Come si chiama?
Simon Kajer.
No. Oh, non c'è mica
Costello.
biondo là.
Costello out. Costello. Theo Hernandez. Benacer.
No.
Benacer.
Oh, il giocatore forte
Rebic.
Milano, come si chiama? Comunque Leao, Leao is the best.
Salamaker. Salamaker would be good. I feel like he would fit very well with the club.
Leao.
I feel like that's what they need too. Is there any other is there anything else you believe in Napoli this year? Maybe Champions League spot this year?
Oh, Champions League, I think so, yeah. But that's what our president wants to do, you know? He wants to go in Champions League, get the money, and that's it. You don't want to win Scudetto.
I've been hearing rumors. Vincenzo, I don't know if you know about this because obviously you're in Naples, but maybe they're getting a new stadium change possibly
No.
in Naples. No, because I heard about this a couple years ago. There was a possibility they might get a new stadium and switch it out. No,
they're not going to do. That's what I'm saying. If we don't change president, nothing's going to change, unfortunately. Otherwise, Napoli would have won at least a couple Scudetto in these past years.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Anything you guys want to add to that, guys, or no? Or Napoli season?
I agree with what he's saying. I mean, obviously, you guys know more than me about Napoli, but De Laurentiis says I always see a lot of bad stuff about him. So I agree with you guys. Napoli has had amazing teams the last couple of years. They were in the Scudetto races and they unfortunately fell off last couple of weeks. So it sucks to see. I would love to see them win again. But
This year was our year because, you know, Juventus wasn't that good. So
yeah.
this year was our year, but unfortunately.
We're gonna move on to the next match for champions that we're gonna move on to. Manchester City gets Real Madrid. I believe Man City gets the first match at home. By the way, away goals do not count anymore. That has been disallowed by UEFA this year. Real Madrid, it's a phenomenal form of Karim Benzema. Man City with Kevin De Bruyne. I'm gonna start with you, Vincenzo. Manchester City, Real Madrid. Who do you got?
I think Real Madrid.
Who's going to be your player of the game for that match?
Benzema.
Why is that?
I'm sorry. The good guy. Come si chiama?
So wait, say that again.
Benzema.
Okay, why is that? Why do you say Benzema?
Sei in vogue. Come dice? Sei in vogue.
My cousin said he's in form.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna start with you, Dylan. Obviously you're a big Benzema fan. I know you've been praising about him last week, and I don't know if you noticed, but he scored. How many goals he has for Champions League this season? 13 goals this season, I think.
Yeah, he has a lot.
Benzema.
I think he's got 13 goals this season. He's playing phenomenal football. Man City, Real Madrid, first leg. What do you think is going to happen in that first leg?
He has 12 goals.
He has 12 goals. Okay, I know it was I know it was around there.
The first game, it's in Man City, right?
Yeah, in Man City and the Emirates.
Oh no, it's at is it okay?
Yeah, Man City's home.
Yeah, no, it is. Okay, I was looking for next time. I think that Real Madrid has like this thing where they go down early in the first game and then they always like come from behind. They've been doing it in the Champions League for years now and scoring last minute goals. Back when Cristiano Ronaldo, Gareth Bale, like that's just kind of how they operate. So if they could pull out like a draw or something in Man City, or even only like lose by 1 goal, I think when they go back to the Bernabeu, they'll probably win. So for first game, I'm gonna say maybe 1-1. And then I think when they go back to the
1-1.
Bernabeu, they win.
I see that.
They win maybe 2-0 or 3-1 or something like that.
2-0.
Yeah, I think player of the game. I think the easy pick is to say Benzema. I mean, if they were to pick the Ballon d'Or for this next year, like right now, not the one that Messi just won, but like for the new season, I think he's probably the front runner. I mean, the way that he's been playing, maybe like with Mbappe and stuff, but Real Madrid look like they're going to win La Liga, and obviously it looks like that they're in the semifinals for the Champions League. So he's probably the easy pick, but I think I'm going to say Luka Modric is going to be the difference maker. A lot of people have been forgetting about him, but he's been like the Xavi and Iniesta of this team for a while now, and he's super slept on, and he's just so amazing. The passes he was taking these past few games have been unreal, so I think that he's going to be the catalyst to this team. And that midfield matchup is going to be good because I know Kevin De Bruyne's on the other side, so like, I want to see those two center midfielders clash. That's going to be fun.
Dottor, Daggio salutato, dottor. Bimba piange.
All right, ciao, ciao. Ciao, Goji.
Ciao, ciao, a tutto quanto, Logan.
All right, ciao, ciao. My cousin says bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
All right, Anthony, I'm gonna start with you. Man City, Real Madrid. Who do you got? Anthony.
I agree with what Dill said. I think Man City will. If Real Madrid could at least tie that game, the first game, then I think they'll have all the confidence to win. But like I said, these are the two probably best teams in the world, along with Liverpool right now. I think those three are well deserved to be where they are right now in the semifinals. Either one of these teams could advance and win, and I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm gonna go with Real Madrid just because Benzema, like we said, is just unstoppable right now. Did it against Chelsea. He just can't be stopped. And Vinicius Jr. has been amazing, feeding him the ball, creating havoc on the wing. And that midfield is as good as ever. Modric never ages, just still plays amazing balls, runs the midfield. And I think I'm going to say 2-2 first leg. And then I think Real Madrid will win the second leg 2-1 and advance to the finals. And I think Benzema will steal the show again. And he will be my Ballon d'Or winner, too, for the next year. That's my prediction.
I do see Karim Benzema getting Ballon d'Or. He's playing fantastic right now with Real Madrid. With the national team, he had a phenomenal Euro last year. He played pretty well in the Nations League as well. So I mean, I know France did win it, so that's going to be another big topic to talk about. But Real Madrid right now, they're leading the standings in La Liga, 78 points. Second place is Sevilla with 63. So Real Madrid, in their perspective, they're going to focus everything on this match in the Champions League right now because they have nothing to lose because the league's guaranteed for them. They got the league. Mm-hmm. Now it's up to them to win the Champions League. The last time they won the Champions League, was 2000 and I think it was against Atletico Madrid the second time when I believe Griezmann scored against them. I know that. I remember that it was against Atletico Madrid. I believe so.
They haven't won since Ronaldo left.
Yeah, so that's another thing to prove for Real Madrid as well. Can they win a title without one of their biggest stars? Man City right now, with the standings for Premier League, is obviously 77 and 76. So right now, if you look at the perspective of Man City, they have to play double. They got to play. Not only they have to, bust their butt in the league, but they have to do it in the Champions League as well. Yeah. I'm going to agree with you guys. I really think it's going to be a 0-0 draw, maybe a 1-1 draw, very, very tight match. But if there's somebody I'm going to say that's really going to make a difference, I think it's going to be Ederson, phenomenal goalkeeper for Man City. I'm a big goalkeeper guy, so I really think he's going to come out big. He's gonna make really a couple big saves. But Joe Cancelo also as well.
He's really good.
He's gonna be another. He's been having a phenomenal season. Gabriel Jesus, he scored against Liverpool, but however he's been inconsistent here and there. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. But the second leg, I think Man City's gonna win. I think they're gonna pull off the miracle. I see them winning 1-0 in extra time. I see Mahrez scoring. I have total aggregate 2-1. I got Mahrez winning the game. Maybe Kevin De Bruyne is scoring in the first game, but I got Mahrez scoring in the second match, and I got them going to the final. We're gonna move on to the next match. It's Liverpool against Villarreal. Liverpool outstanding this year in Champions League as well as the league in general. And then what can we say about Villarreal? This team, they're like the Leicester of a couple of years ago. They're a super team. They defeated Juventus. They defeated Bayern Munich, and now they're on the way to maybe defeat Liverpool. Probably the three best teams in the world in Europe. So if you look at Liverpool's perspective, it's going to be a tough match. It's not going to be easy at all. Villarreal is going to be that team. They're going to sit back. They're going to play that defensive game, park the bus here and there, and maybe push here and there with Danjuma. But I really think Liverpool, both legs, they should get the job done. I'm going to start with you, Anthony. What do you think, Liverpool, Villarreal?
Yeah, I mean, Villarreal has had this crazy run. When they beat Juventus, I was a little pissed off because I always root for the Italian teams in the Champions League, no matter, even if it's inter-rivals. I just support Italian teams. But then they go and beat Bayern Munich, who have notoriously just dominated smaller teams, especially in Champions League. They don't lose to these underdogs. So it was pretty insane. And as much as I'd love them to beat Liverpool and make the run to the finals, I do think their run ends here. Liverpool are another team that don't really lose to the underdogs. They usually handle their business. And I'm gonna say 3-1 final aggregate score. I don't think it will be too close, but I also don't think it will be a blowout. I think Villarreal will keep it interesting, but at the end of the day, Liverpool's too powerful, and they'll just get the job done and set up the final with Real Madrid.
Dylan, what's your thoughts on the match?
I want to say this. I think that the reason they got away with beating Bayern the way they did, that kind of sit back and play defense style only works against certain teams. Like we saw Macedonia do it to Italy, but Italy was never known as a heavily pressing team that's super attacking. So Italy kind of plays that way too. So in that sense, it worked. Bayern Munich, although they have strong firepower, their forward is really only Lewandowski in terms of scoring goals. And I know they're still winning the Bundesliga, but they don't have the firepower that they once did with the speed. Liverpool, on the other hand, that's not a team that you can sit back and just let them attack you because they're just simply too fast. Salah, Mane, Diego Jota has been playing amazing. And then at the back, they're solid too. With Alexander-Arnold, he attacks out of the wing-back position, but he's probably one of the best outside backs in the world right now, if not the best. I think Liverpool is just a little bit too strong. I also want to say this when we were talking about Ballon d'Or. Right now, Benzema's the favorite. Salah's in second. Salah right now has 22 goals in the BPL, and he has 12 assists. He has the most goals and the most assists.
That's incredible.
You know who has the second most assists? Alexander-Arnold, who's on the same team. So it's just they've just been a ridiculous form. The one thing I think Villarreal has on their side is, one, they have nothing to lose, and two, this is what they have to play for because I think they're in 7th or 8th in La Liga, so I don't think they're going to see another Champions League again next year. So, I mean, it's kind of eventually these Cinderella runs have to come to an end. I do have a little bit of Leicester City vibes from when they won the BPL. But I don't know if they have enough firepower to beat Liverpool. I think their run ends here. I'm going to say 5-1, 4-1 maybe.
Villarreal right now is seventh place. They are 52 points. Real Sociedad is 55. The only thing I think I see them doing is maybe getting the Conference League playoff spot, but I don't see them making Champions League again.
I like Spanish teams. I'm a fan of La Liga, even though I'm a Barcelona fan. Like, I still like to see them win. I always liked Atletico growing up, and Villarreal. They always were a tough team. I like the yellow jerseys and everything about them. And they always play hard. Even like when Messi was in Barcelona and I was more intact to the Barcelona games, like they always played them tough. So I think that'll probably start out a little bit close, but Liverpool kind of scores in bunches. And will tell you, being a Man U fan in BPL, like it'll be like Salah, Mane, like back to back to back, like really quick, and it'll go from 1-0 to 4-0 just like that. I think they'll probably win 4-1, 5-1. I don't think it's going to be very close.
However, we did see the game against Benfica. I don't know if you noticed this, but Benfica got 3 goals. VAR called them off, then called them back on. But you know what? Liverpool's defense is a little iffy. So if Villarreal get a goal here and there, and they close the gap, they could do anything. This it's not guaranteed Liverpool's going to win. My dream final is Liverpool against Man City. Another English final. I would love to see them two go at it and Man City get revenge from last year. However, I mean, if you look at aggregate score, Liverpool only won 6-4, which is only 2-goal difference. So, I mean, anything can happen. And if you really think about it in perspective, these small clubs have nothing to lose. Another player I'm going to mention from Villarreal is a former Napoli player. His name's Raul Albiol. He's playing phenomenal in defense. He's a center back. Great player, and you know what? They have the talent. They have some players like Danjuma, and then there's Chukwueze. They have players that can play the ball, and we saw that against Bayern Munich. You know, all it takes is one goal, and that can make a huge difference. That could shock the world. So I think the final is going to be Man City Liverpool. Who's your dream final, Anthony?
Obviously, I want both the English teams to lose. And no one's really talking about it. It could be an all-Spanish final. I know it's unlikely.
Oh, yeah, I do see that.
Yeah, my dream obviously would be the all-Spanish finale with Real Madrid winning. But like I said, I think it's going to be really hard for Villarreal to win. And if we look at the last couple of years, we've had these kind of Cinderella runs to the semifinals, like Lyon last year and Leipzig. And they got to the semifinals and got destroyed. So I think could kind of be seeing the same thing. Even if you look at the year before that, Ajax made the semifinals. I mean, they didn't get destroyed, but they lost in the semifinals as well. So these Cinderella runs are cool. I love to see it, obviously. But I think at one point it gets too much for them, and the better team's going to eventually win and prevail to the finals.
I agree. But also, like, if you look at, I'm going to say the first match with Man City Real Madrid, you have Pep Guardiola and Ancelotti. Ancelotti's been to finals, multiple finals. Pep Guardiola was to the final. He was at the final last year. So is that going to play a mentality factor for Pep Guardiola? You know, he's been there before. He has the experience. And also Real Madrid. We know they won 12 Champions League titles. So, in my opinion, I wish this wasn't a semifinal. I wish it was a final to see those teams go at it on the big stage on May 28th. However, I see Man City Liverpool. I want to see all English final. What do you think, though? All English final, all Spanish final, one of each? What do you think?
I think I want to see Real Madrid versus Liverpool just because like
wow.
I just love like the high-powered attack by both teams. I also think like we didn't really talk about it, but Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, like that next wave of the young guys in Real Madrid, they've been like playing a great Champions League as well. It's great in La Liga, scoring goals, making assists. I think we'll probably see both of them in Brazil's national team for the World Cup. And if you remember, I think it was 2016, Real Madrid played Liverpool in the Champions League final, and I think it was tied, and then about like 10 minutes into the game, Sergio Ramos broke Mohamed Salah's arm.
Yes, he did.
Or shoulder or something, and Salah was out of the game, and Salah had to watch his team lose from the sideline. I think Real Madrid ended up scoring like 2 or 3 goals after that.
Yeah.
I think it would be like kind of like everything come full circle because Salah is like one of the best players in the world right now. We just saw him miss that penalty with the laser. We don't have to talk about that. But they were eliminated, so they're not going to the World Cup, right? With Egypt. So it looks like this is kind of all he has. So like, if he wins Champions League and he wins BPL, I think you have to give Ballon d'Or to him. This might be like his year, the passing of the torch. I think this is the first year besides when Modric won that Messi and Ronaldo haven't won the Ballon d'Or in like, was it like the past 15 years or something?
I believe it was. I know
years.
Kaká won in 2006, right?
Yeah, that was
I know
right.
Kaká won. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Kaká won 2006, 2007, I think.
Because
Kaká
Cannavaro won in 2006.
Kaká
No, 2007. I'm sorry, 2007. Kaká won because he won the Champions League. Kaká won the Champions League that year with Milan.
Yeah,
Yes.
Kaká
That was the last time.
So,
Besides Modric, obviously.
so I think this would be like kind of like the passing of the torch. I think that would be cool to see Mohamed Salah win. I don't really like Liverpool, but I just think that their offense is ridiculous. But I think honestly, Benzema versus Salah, whoever wins this probably wins Ballon d'Or. So that's the match for.
I agree. Yeah. Well, I would love to see the final between Real Madrid and Liverpool. Just as a redemption, that match happened in the 2017-2018 season. Another thing I don't know if you guys realize, but during that match when that happened, the goalkeeper was Casarus. What I think his name is Casarus, whatever his name was. But he made a defensive. He made a defensive error like no other. It looked like Dida back in 2008, 2009 with Milan. And Benzema scored 2 goals. Benzema scored a goal, and then Gareth Bale, I think, scored twice. Right? I think.
I don't remember.
I think Gareth Bale, he scored the bicycle kick, and then he scored the blunder.
Yeah.
When he takes a shot outside. So. You know, right now it's interesting to see because if you really think about perspective, Gareth Bale played Liverpool. Karim Benzema played Liverpool before, so he knows what to expect. He's played them before in the past. I would love to see that all English final in Man City to get the revenge and obtain that trophy. Man City hasn't won a Champions League. I don't remember if they ever won. Right, this will be the first time in history, right?
Any year?
I believe, it will be Man City's first in their history. Liverpool, the last time they won was back in 2000 and with Salah. It was 2000. Hold on, it was against Tottenham. 17-18, I think. 17-18, when Salah scored the penalty and then Origi scored. And then the last time Liverpool won before that was the match against Milan, the one in Istanbul, 05-06, which was a beautiful final, by the way.
Also, Liverpool beat Man City last week in the FA Cup.
Exactly. So that's gonna
going in, you know.
Absolutely. In my opinion, if you're Man City and you're Liverpool, you have to play the league, and then you have to play the Champions League too as well. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot to play for. Real Madrid only has to worry with the Champions League because the league is guaranteed done. We know that. So in that perspective, Man City and Liverpool have a lot to lose. Real Madrid have nothing to lose right now. So maybe if Real Madrid do go to the final, maybe an all-Spanish final could happen. If Villarreal make the miracle and defeat Liverpool. But like I said, who knows? But is there anything you guys want to add about the Serie A, Premier League, Champions League? Anything else at all?
I think we covered it all, man.
The last thing I wanted to mention is that both Champions League games will be available on CBS, actual CBS Channel 2 as well. And Roma plays Leicester in the semifinal of the Conference League. Another thing I just read an article on. They sold their tickets in 20 hours, and not even 24 hours. They sold their tickets, and it was incredible. They sold everything. So it's going to be interesting to see what Roma does against Leicester. Any predictions on that match, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, again, obviously rooting for Roma. Leicester hasn't been that great this season. I think they're in maybe like 8th or 9th place.
right now. So they kind of fell off a bit, but they are doing well in Europe. So not hope Roma could deliver a European title for Serie A, especially after.
The last time we saw Roma in a semifinal, it was against I think Liverpool, and I believe they lost. Yeah, they lost. It was semifinal. They lost, and Liverpool went to the final of the Champions League, and they lost as well. So, like I said, anything can happen, and we'll see. But I think Roma realistically should win. They should go to the final and win the Conference League. They should. But like I said, anything can happen because we did see them in qualification against Baldo in the beginning. They lost 2-3-0, and then the first leg they lost 2-1. So anything could happen. Leicester's not a bad team at all. They have Jamie Vardy still, right?
Yeah.
I think they do, right?
Yeah.
So anything could happen if you really think about it.
Yeah.
So I think Liverpool should win. I mean, Roma should win. I see them winning the first leg. I see Roma winning 2-1. The second leg, I see them tie 0-0. I think that's how it's gonna happen. What's your prediction on the matches, guys?
Yeah, I think it will be a close one. Who's home first?
I think Roma is up first. Let me check right now. Leicester's first. Leicester's home first.
So I always like to have home the second game, obviously, because you kind of know what you have to do after the first game.
Yeah.
And if it goes,
By the way, away goals don't count as well. I'm just letting you know.
yeah, and if it goes into extra time, you have the little extra advantage, obviously, being home, penalties, whatever. So, like you always try to at least get a tie away from home the first leg. If you get a tie, then you have all the. So, I'll say Roma the first leg. Roma will seal the second leg. Zaniolo masterpiece.
Dylan, any prediction on the Leicester City Roma match?
I'll go 1-1 at Leicester, and then I'll go 1-0 at Roma. I'll go with the Italian team. I think they edge it out, and I think they bring back the European Cup for the nation of Italia.
I know you want Tammy Abraham to score. Tammy Abraham, right?
I like him. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you know what? I like give me El Shaarawy again. I want to see him get back.
Really?
I want to. I don't think he's gonna score, but if someone I would like to score, get him back on the board again. I like seeing him do well. He was one of my favorites. He never really panned out to what we thought he was gonna be, but I think it was nice seeing him score. It just sadly it had to be against your Naples team, but maybe he'll get another one.
No, like I said, I want to see Roma win just for Italy in general. Like I guess with everything they went through, like last year with COVID and everything else, they won the Euro. I mean, we know they're not going to win the World Cup, so it would be nice for an Italian club to win a European trophy because there's none in Champions League, no Europa League. It would be nice to see them win the Conference League. So I think Roma should win realistically. But if there's one player I really mention for Roma, it's got to be Pellegrini. Phenomenal player. Can take a free kick. He can keep possession. Phenomenal player, but Ashrawi as well. He's been very, very good this year. And the goal against Napoli, I'm actually shocked because he came off the bench and scored. But a player we're really forgetting is Chris Smalling, former Man U player, playing for Roma. He's playing pretty well. He scored against Salernitana last week, so I think he could do very well as well. But I think Pellegrini will get on the score sheet. That's my guy to get on the score sheet. And you were talking about Leicester. I think they're 7th or 8th this year, so they wouldn't make any European trophy. So last but not least, is there anything you guys want to talk about before we wrap up?
No, I think we. Oh.
Okay, guys. By the way, we are the 90-Minute Club at the 90-Minute Club. We got Dylan Perone. We got Anthony Cassiano. We got the two ghosts in the building. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Use the hashtag 90-Minute Club, and please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and also our YouTube channel as well to watch all our videos. Please like and subscribe. The beautiful game is always 90 minutes or more. Watch the matches on CBS, CBS Sports Network, and Paramount Plus. We'll see you next week. See you guys.
Ciao, Belly.
Ciao, ciao.